It's one of the biggest video game hits of all time, generating more than $1 billion while making skateboards cool again. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. By the late 90s, video games have been around for more than 3 decades. Few capture skaters' quarters like the arcade classic 720. Sensing that skateboarding is soaring to its highest peak since the late 70s, the biggest deal to hit skate games is in the works.
We just finished a game for Activision called Apocalypse, and we're trying to figure out what the next game was going to be. And they came out and said, hey, this huge trend right now is skateboards.
Meanwhile, the best skateboarder in the biz is courted by several companies battling to create a game with his name slapped on it. Activision and Neversoft team up to offer him intense hands-on involvement with their upcoming game. The deal is sealed, and the essence of the Birdman is captured. In September 1999, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater hits PlayStations. The game lets players control real-life skateboarding superstars like Bob Burnquist, Chad Muska, and of course, the Birdman himself. While earlier skateboard games focus on racing, Pro Skater is all about points for tricks, pushing creativity over precision.
There's a sense of freedom, which comes from skateboarding, you know, kind of the freedom to do tricks anywhere. And that was a conscious design decision at the beginning. People really responded to that sense of freedom.
A freedom found in skate havens like Portland's Burnside Park, recreated with amazing accuracy in the game.
When we start designing an area like something more specific to skating, like a skate park, we start doing a lot of research, find out the history, try to pick the best version of that park, even if it's not what's current. We want it to be grounded in reality.
Pro Skater is a hit, taking Hawk to new heights with 1.3 million units sold.
My dream in doing our original game was to make a game that's so fun that it would draw people in, and then they would realize how fun skateboarding really is, and that would inspire them to go try skating, and I feel like we accomplished that.
And then some. Fans hunger for more. 1 year later, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 drops in, selling more than 1 million units and landing the title Best-Selling PSX Game of the Year. In this one, gamers can create customized characters and pimp their own private parks, enough to attract a superhero, one with some pretty fly moves. With the arrival of the new, more powerful console, Sony's PS2, the franchise is redesigned from the ground up. In 2001, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 arrives with a bang, or more like a bam, Jackass star Bam Margera. The game is the first in the series and first on PS2 to feature online play. And thanks to the new revert system, players can move in and out of aerials, yielding countless combos and sky-high scores. By the time Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 hits stores, gamers know their eyes and ears are in for a treat.
Music is a big part of skateboarding, so we kind of took that same approach in the game, and we just kind of molded it all together into one big, juicy soundtrack.
Levels are larger and more detailed than ever, and feature a real trick for the ages.
Tony just completed this 26-foot gap where he set up 2 quarter pipes and had this huge distance gap between them. We took inspiration from that, created a challenge in the game where we moved the quarter pipes apart in stages, and so the gaps got bigger and bigger.
And so did the franchise. In Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2, expanded story modes let young dudes climb up the pro ranks, with a personal touch, thanks to face mapping. Players can also hop off their boards to explore levels on foot and start combos from fresh new vantage points. In 2005, Activision releases Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. Taking place in one large streaming level, gone are the load times that annoyed fans for years. Shredders have more time to fly in the City of Angels.
LA is featured in its glory. I mean, you know, we've got Beverly Hills, we've got East LA, we've got Santa Monica. You know, all of the landmark skate spots as well are all featured in it.
So where to next? Global domination continues with the fall 2006 release of 2 new entries. Harnessing the horsepower of the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, Tony Hawk's Project 8 promises to be the most realistic skating ever seen.
We dropped the camera down to the side so it looks more like a true skate video would look. We give you slow motion control over his feet so that it feels like you're actually controlling every move he makes rather than just picking a trick. You're actually making a trick by your foot movements.
And Activision is releasing Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam for the Nintendo Wii. Unlike Project 8, this game uses the system's motion-sensitive controller to steer your virtual shredder. And if you're jonesing for more slash grinding and stale fishing, peep this. Tony Hawk has extended his contract with Activision through 2015. No doubt the Birdman will fly for years to come.
We've been able to make a genre of video games. So every time we make a new one, they're excited about it. It's not like we're just coming up with new levels, we're coming up with new skaters. It's actually a whole new experience.